Gotham is a city that pretends the rain will rinse it clean. It doesn't. 2 years into his experiment, Bruce Wayne patrols as Vengeance, a nocturnal auditor who writes on criminals with broken bones and silence. He keeps a diary like a lab notebook, counting nights and bruises. The bat signal is less a call than a threat painted on clouds. Somewhere he is already walking. The prologue sets the film's terms: fear as a tool, truth as a weapon. On Halloween night, a masked killer stalks Mayor Don Mitchell Jr. and stages a murder that looks like a live-streamed confession. Duct tape, heavy breathing, a message scrawled for the city and for Batman. A greeting card at the scene reads like it was cut with a child's scissors. Inside, a riddle, a clue, a dare. The killer signs as the Riddler. His targets will be Gotham's leaders, his method will be public theater. Detective work takes the wheel. Lieutenant Jim Gordon treats Batman as an unorthodox partner in the crime scene like a classroom. Clues point to the Iceberg Lounge, a nightclub within a nightclub run by Oswald Cobblepot, the Penguin under the protection of crime boss Carmine Falcone. Batman's investigation pulls in Selina Kyle, a server and cat burglar with her own ledger to balance. She's searching for her missing friend Annika. He's triangulating corruption. Their alliance is professional tension and parallel grief. Selina knows the city's appetite, Batman knows its alibis. The murders escalate with method and message. The Riddler exposes a decades-old embezzlement scheme, money siphoned from the Wayne family's Renewal Fund that was supposed to rebuild the city after Thomas and Martha Wayne's deaths. The fund became a trough, cops, officials, and mobsters fed. A district attorney dies with a bomb locked around his neck during a Riddle-forced confession. A commissioner goes next. Each kill arrives with an envelope addressed to Batman, each riddle another thread in a net cast over Gotham's elite. Bruce investigates outward and backward simultaneously. Alfred Pennyworth becomes both conscience and casualty when a letter bomb meant for Bruce detonates at Wayne Tower. The blast spares his life but tears a hole in Bruce's armor. The mission stops being intellectual and becomes personal again. Riddler's online manifesto frames Bruce as part of the rot. Rich boy soldered to a tragedy the city converted into brand. Bruce considers the possibility that vengeance might be the wrong name for what he's trying to be. Selina's trail to Annika leads deeper into Falcone's orbit. The Iceberg Lounge's VIP lair, 44 below, hosts deals that keep Gotham obedient. Annika is silenced, thumb drives become thumb screws, drops, dealers move product under official protection. Falcone smiles like a man who never lost a vote he didn't buy. Penguin postures, but he's middle management. Batman and Gordon follow a clue to a drug bust that reveals another reversal. The rat the Riddler keeps taunting might be the city's most protected man. Car chases here are industrial and intimate. Batman's pursuit of Penguin turns into a nocturnal gauntlet, trucks as barricades, rain as camouflage, the Batmobile a jet engine wrapped in steel. It ends with a flipped wreck and a silhouette in firelight walking toward truth. Penguin sneers and swears he isn't the rat. He is right, and the evidence shifts focus to Falcone. Gotham's web titans. Falcone forced Thomas Wayne to cover up family secrets through a reporter's intimidation. The scandal and the subsequent murders created the political vacuum that Falcone filled with favors. The city's renewal renewed the mob. Selina's story sharpens the motive blade. Falcone is her father, absent, ruthless, a man who reduces relationships to leverage. Her mission becomes simple: kill Falcone for the women the city treats as disposable, for Annika, for herself. Batman insists on law rather than vengeance, binding a murderer to handcuffs instead of a coffin as proof his symbol means something other than pain. Falcone steps into the floodlights and into a sniper's crosshair. The Riddler takes his most important piece off the board on camera as if to say, "Thank you for bringing him outside." With Falcone dead, the investigation folds into Endgame. Forensics push Batman and Gordon to a rented apartment across from the Iceberg Lounge. It's a shrine-coded puzzle box, ledgers, hand-drawn ciphers, a carpet tool that becomes a key. When Batman lifts the carpet, the plot raises the water. Riddler's plan was never just murders, it was urban surgery. Explosive charges ring the city's seawall. Detonation floods the streets, driving civilians toward the new mayor's victory celebration at Gotham Square Garden, an arena that becomes an inland island. Riddler, captured at a diner with a polite surrender and a smile, isn't finished. From Arkham, he whispers partnership fantasies through glass. He thinks Batman and he are the same, orphans shaping meaning through fear. Batman rejects the mirror. Riddler's followers, armed by online radicalization and dressed in his mask, begin the second act of the plan. Assassinate the new mayor, sow chaos, finish the city's drowning. The garden becomes a kill box, snipers on catwalks, panicked crowds, rising water, electricity hunting for a body count. Batman pivots from detective to defender without changing weapons. Attention, timing, refusal. He fights through the rafters and is nearly finished by numbers until Selina arrives with an assist that feels like a debt cashed both ways. When a final attacker almost kills her, Batman injects himself with a green stimulant, a hint of venom or adrenaline, and skirts the edge of losing control, pounding until a mask is a face again and a crowd sees what vengeance looks like without a break. He stops himself on the brink because Selina's hand on his shoulder reminds him why he's there. The film's true climax isn't a punch, it's a choice. With live wires sparking over a flooded arena, Batman cuts power at the cost of his own safety and falls into water he cannot command. He emerges not as a hunter but as a helper, flares burning red as he leads survivors through darkness, lifts a child onto a stretcher and becomes a light rather than a shadow. The narration shifts. Gotham doesn't just need fear, it needs hope and a partner who will stand in daylight when the night is over. I'm vengeance becomes I'm here. Aftermath is a ledger of consequences. Penguin, no longer overshadowed by Falcone, eyes a power vacuum with an entrepreneur's hunger. Selina chooses a road that doesn't run through institutions. She rides out of Gotham toward cities with different kinds of rot. Gordon is named commissioner in everything but ceremony. Bruce, chastened and clarified, keeps the cowl but revises the mission statement: protect, rebuild, reveal, fight corruption without becoming a synonym for it. In Arkham, a man with a laugh and scars befriends the Riddler through a wall, promising that Gotham's next chapter won't lack for monsters. Themes the film threads until the credits: justice versus vengeance, truth as contagion and cure, the seduction of certainty, the architecture of corruption, and the idea that symbols evolve or they become excuses. Gotham remains a place where a cape doesn't change the weather, but a flare carried by a man who once thought he could only be a shadow can change who's willing to walk through the water. The Batman closes not with triumph but with a promise calibrated to a city that only trusts receipts. He will return to the streets not as a rumor told in alleys but as a habit: rescue, investigation, kindness under pressure. Gotham will test that promise every night it rains. The signal goes back on anyway.